family. It's Dr. Pliant Mindset. How are you? I hope that you are doing fine today. Even if your day was challenging, you know what to do to reset yourself. Take that breath through your nose, let your belly expand, and count to 4 and release it to the count of 8. And when you release it, you say, I am releasing everything that no longer serves me. You do that for yourself because it's all about you. Because if there ain't no you, there ain't no whatever. So you got to get yourself together and keep yourself grounded and balanced so that you can do what you need to do for you and for others. So that brings me to what I wanted to talk about for just a few minutes. I'm out walking. Thank God that, the weather is still nice here in Florida. Not no sunshine right now, but at least about 75, 70 something degrees. Not like the north. Did I say that? Listen, I'm just trying to tell you. But it gets dark earlier. So I said, I got to get out earlier, and reset my schedule. So, yeah. So I wanted to talk to you today about responsibility to others. That's what just came. Responsibility to others. So I want to ask you a question. Do you know anybody that's depressed? Do you know anybody? Because if you do, you have a responsibility to them. And that's why that came up. I understand now, Spirit, why it came up, responsibility to others. Because even if it's you, but people that are depressed need someone or something from the outside to stimulate them. People are depressed, are pulled into a dark place. They're pulled into a place where they're not attached. They don't want to be attached. They're not thinking about being attached. They're not attached to anyone or anything. And that's serious. And I'm talking about even spiritual people. You would think that, oh, well, they've been walking with the Lord for 20 years, whatever. When this heavy wind hits their life, because the winds do come and the bricks come with them and they're heavy. I mean, things happen, But if this happened to them, and they got depressed or whatever, they'd be able to come out of it because they know to be able to reach in and reconnect with God. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. Now listen to what I'm saying to you, because you know that I've had this people on my couch in my time. So these are life experiences that I'm sharing with you, my wisdom that I'm sharing with you, because I want you to know that we have a responsibility for somebody. You have a responsibility for that person who is depressed because they can't pull themselves up. No, they cannot connect to the spirit because that thing is so heavy. Remember, we live on this earth with energy. And remember, there's always been the force between good and evil. So that thing is evil. So it's pulling at them. But it is so weighty because dark is stronger than light. Although light is more powerful than dark. But don't be confused about the strength and the power of dark. So having said that, you need to help them. If you have somebody that you know, or even you, in order for you to get yourself from that darkness, you have to ignite that is within you, that ignites the spirit again. You understand? This in you, that's where the spirit is. That's where the love, the joy, the peace, that's where that's at. But the things that ignite that for you is gratitude. Gratitude, appreciation, thankfulness, joy, those feelings will ignite who you are. They will reconnect them or reconnect you back to who you are. So you need to be grateful if it's you. Have somebody, if you're talking to somebody and you're dealing with somebody who's going through this, just tell them how grateful you are for them. Stir up the gratitude in them by speaking gratefulness over their life because they don't see themselves as having any worth. That's how this thing can get in. This is why I tell you we must heal that inner child. We must get rid of those emotional blockages because when this thing comes upon you, it's like a big foot. It's like David and Goliath, but this time Goliath wins. Okay? So you have a responsibility to try to help that person. That's the first thing, is that if you could get gratitude going for them, get that gratitude going. Tell them how grateful you are. Maybe you can say to them, have them say, I am grateful for myself. Because they're not going to say too much. Even if they say that, they're not really going to feel it, but it's a start. The other thing you could do is put their environment at a frequency at I think it's a 532 megahertz. I have the hertz all in my book, but look for the frequency, because you can find anything on YouTube. Look for the frequency of gratitude. Look for the frequency of healing, and play that music in their atmosphere. Because while they are consciously unconscious, that music is resetting the subconscious mind, so that when they're in that darkness, that subconscious mind is going to play that frequency for them. It's going to interrupt that darkness for them. So you can play the frequency for them. Find out what the healing frequency is, what the calming frequency is. They're all the same. It's like in the 500s. And I just want to say to you that if you are feeling times that you feel depressed yourself, lift your frequency up. Lift it up, because the highest level in frequency is enlightenment. And that is knowing who you are and knowing whose you are. Knowing that you are a cosmic being, that you are a spirit. Knowing that the God you serve is a creator. They pinned that name God on him so we can be confused. But when you think of a creator, the creator created you and then put himself in you to create again. That's how you're connected to the creator all the time. So always keep yourself enlightened. Always give thanks to God. Don't you put yourself in that religious mindset of I'm not good enough, or I sinned, or whatever. You give thanks to God like you deserve to give thanks to God. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I love you. Lord, I trust you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I love you. Lord, I trust you. Lord, I'm grateful. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for bountiful plentifulness. Thank you for helping my friend who's suffering right now, Lord. Thank you for sending those angels their way. Thank you for sending light and love their way. See, lift your frequency and start praying for that person that is in depression. We have a responsibility to help them. Pray for them. Make your intent an intent to send love and compassion and joy to a person that is suffering from this, because they cannot connect to the light. They cannot connect to the source. That's why it's so hard. It's challenging to deal with people who are depressed. But I want you to have a little more empathy after today. I want you to understand they can't help it, because this thing is dark and it's heavy, but you can help them. Let's not give up on them, because greater is he that is in us than he that, and one can chase 1,000 and two could put 10,000 to flight. You go to praying. Don't you give up on your child. Don't you give up on your husband. Don't you give up on yourself, who this thing has come after. You remember who you are. You remember what you are. And the way to do that, if it's you, it's through gratitude. Lift your frequency by gratitude, because the light gets so bright until the darkness can't find it. Then you start being thankful. Then you make an intention. My intention is to stay focused today, Lord. My intention is to stay grounded today, Lord. And then, Lord, I thank you. Just those two things. Focus and grounded. Listen, this was in me today for you. So the post is a little long, but I felt like I needed to get it out, to get the point across so you can understand why you have this responsibility to help those that are going through depression. They need us. They need your love. They need your light. They need your kindness, and they need your compassion. Let's reach down and pull our brother up. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Like, share your comments, share the video with somebody that you may know. Make a song for somebody who's depressed and send it to them. Find something that will lift their spirits and just send it to them. Thank God for technology. And those of you that missed the master class, I'm sending out the link, the replay, because I recorded it. Yes, yeah. I recorded it. So I know that you registered, so I know you had a good intent. So I'm sending out the recording to you. So look for that shortly, okay? Those of you that need to get in touch with that inner child that knows that you have experienced trauma in your life, and therefore there are some emotional blockages. But I want to tell you something that come from your beliefs, and your beliefs were set when you were a child. I have studied techniques that help you to change your belief system and to get in touch with your inner child without going back into the trauma. That's right. That's right. So if you want to experience that with me, hit the book a call button. My calendar will come up. I'll be glad to speak with you for a few minutes for free. Okay? So this is Dr. Pyant, Mindset for Freedom. Namaste.